Alright, hey, HadesOmega here, and welcome to another HadesOmega Rav4 Prime video. Alright, so this video is about the version 2 MillerCat shield. Alright, there you go, MillerCat shield. Alright, and so I have the version 1 on mine, and I just installed it last night so we can go install this guy. We're going to do a show and tell video and install it. Right, I'm working with MillerCat has sent me this to make a video about it, and here we are. All right, so this one is a lot different than the version 1. All right, the version 1 was kind of like a skid plate. It went underneath the vehicle and it prevented you from, you know, getting to the cat from one side. All right, this one, it kind of installs a cage around your catalytic converter, and I did some homework on it last night. Hopefully it'll be pretty easy to install. You guys will see the install process. It's definitely easier. It's easier to maneuver, is what for sure. Right? It's easier to ship, and it's much smaller. This is also made out of stainless steel, as opposed to the version 1. The version 1 was made out of aluminum. All right, this is much harder to cut. All right, if you've ever tried to cut stainless steel, it is very hard to cut, guys. It will dull blades and all that stuff. All right, so the material is a lot different. You can get this from MillerCat, all right, or you can, and they will ship. And if you live in the Bay Area, you can pick it up in Santa Clara, where they're at. Okay, that's what I did for the version 1, but they shipped this one out to me. Thanks, MillerCat. And you can get these guys for $250. All right. And I will also have a link in the description of the video where you can order this, all right, the website, and a coupon code so you can get like 10% off on your order. Okay, so to help protect your catalytic converter from theft. All right, so like the thieves will just bypass your car and find another Rav4 that doesn't have this device in there. Right? The idea behind these catalytic converter protection devices are that they make it more difficult to steal your catalytic converter. Right? The Rav4 has two, if you don't know. There's one tucked up near the engine, and then there's one downstream, and the one downstream is a lot easier to get to and a lot easier to steal. Okay, and this makes it so it makes it harder for them to steal it. Okay, I'm not going to say it's 100%. It's going to make your catalytic converter 100% theft proof. You know, if they want it bad enough, they'll take it. Okay, but it's the idea is to deter them. All right, make it harder, make it more difficult, more chances of them to get caught by law enforcement. You know, that type of thing. All right, and so they'll skip your car when they see this, and they'll go for something that's an easier target. Okay. That's the idea. So let's go take a look at the components. All right, how it came to me. We'll do the show and tell, and we'll go ahead and install. All right, I've already uninstalled the version 1 shield. I don't know if you can install the version 1 and version 2 at the same time. All right, but we're gonna install the version 2. All right. All right, let's go check it out. Okay, here it is. This is the version 2 MillerCat shield. All right. Alright, so this is how it comes to you. It came in the box like this. It comes with the cage part. Alright, this is what's going to go over your catalytic converter, and it comes with a bag. There is also another mount in the bag. Okay, and then there's some other stuff. We will do an inventory on it. Alright, yeah, let me get all the stuff out of the bag, and I'll show you everything it comes with. Alright, this should work for Rav4's Rav4 Primes. All right, this particular kit is for Toyota Rav4 Prime. It says there on the instruction manual. 2019 and 2023. However, they never made a Rav4 Prime in 2019. It started with the model that I have, 2021. All right, so all 2021 to 2023 Rav4 Primes. This will be good for. Okay. They also make a version for the hybrids. All right, I heard it's a little bit different, and I don't have a hybrid, so I'm sorry guys, I can't do a video about that. But you could still use my coupon code if you want to purchase one for a hybrid. I'm sure the process to install is very similar, as the hybrid and the Prime are very similar vehicles. Okay. All right, let me go finish unboxing this stuff. All right, we'll take the stuff that's out in the baggie out, and then we'll take a closer look at everything. All right, so I've already laid everything out for the inventory. All right, so this is the first part of the installation process, guys. The first thing you should do is inventory your kit to make sure you got everything you need. All right, so we're going to do the inventory right now. All right, so you have the two metal plates. All right, these are the stainless steel components. All right, this is the one that bolts to the body, right, from one side, and then the other one bolts to the you know, where the shield is. Okay, there's that, and then there's this. Very nice. Stainless steel, all right? That's why I'm wearing gloves. It's kind of, the edges are kind of sharp, guys, but there you go. It says MillerCat. Okay, it says MillerCat right there. Okay, there's the MillerCat logo. There's some kind of number here. Tango Foxtrot 5179er. Okay. This is where it mounts to the other mount right here. Okay, like that. Something like that, all right, guys? Okay, and then there's the inside. Okay, it's definitely, actually before we install it, we will go compare it to the version 1 since I have it with me, okay? So you guys can get an idea how much this kit has changed. It has changed a whole lot, okay? Okay, you will get the instruction manual. All right, it says you'll get 2 M8 flathead screws. That's what these are, all right? You'll get 3 security nuts, M6 security nuts, 1, 2, 3, right there. You'll get a M6, 2 M6 fender washers. That's what these two are, okay? And then a M8 security bit. That's this right here. Well, this is bigger than the other one, so it's different than the other one that came with the version 1 kit. And then you'll get a M6 security nut bit right here, okay, or a key. Okay. And then you'll get a thread locker Vibratite. Okay, I think this is it's like a different brand than Loctite. It's the purple stuff. It's a low strength wicking, it says, for fasteners smaller than 1/4 in diameter. It's basically purple Loctite, guys. Purple Loctite is the weaker Loctite, all right? There's a purple, blue, and a red, all right? So it's the weakest one, all right, guys? And then it comes with 2 cat shield protected cat shield stickers, right, to put on your vehicle to let the thieves know, hey, I'm protected, go move along. Okay, and then obviously, yes, the instruction manual. All right. Okay, so it looks like we have everything. It didn't mention this. Yeah, it didn't mention this. All right, but you're gonna have this too. All right, that's what this is in the picture. And it kind of shows you how everything goes together also in the diagram. So if you kind of get lost how everything goes together, you can refer to this diagram, all right? It's very nice. Okay, so yeah, so that's everything, all right? So you can get this at MillerCat.com, or you can get it you can get this at the MillerCat website or catshield.com, all right? This is it right here, okay? I will go get the tools together that it's saying for you to get together. And then we'll start the install. Well, what we'll do is we'll compare the version 1 and the version 2 shields, and then we will go do the install. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So these are the tools that they say that you will need. All right. I would also put it on ramps. All right. That's what I want to do to my RAV4. That's what you saw at the beginning of the video. Put my car on ramps on the front. Now the RAV4 is tall enough where it's pretty easy to work underneath it, all right? But just to make it a little bit easier, I put it on ramps, okay, guys? You don't have to, all right? I'm getting these from the tools required here, all right? The first one is protective gloves and eyewear, all right? Here's some gloves and eyewear. They want you to wear the gloves because, like I said, it's stainless steel and it's got sharp edges. You could cut yourself, okay? And whenever you're working underneath the vehicle, you should always wear eye protection because you can get debris in your eye and stuff, all right? Whenever you work on a vehicle, you should have safety glasses on, all right? You're gonna need a 10mm socket, all right? I got one right here. Ratchet with extension, all right? I have this DEWALT impact ratchet here. All right, if you guys want to know more about this, I'll put a link in the description of the video or at the end of the video also. It's my new toy. It's my new tool, guys. All right, a trim removal tool or a flathead screwdriver. All right, we're just going to use a flathead screwdriver. I have a trim removal tool also. A pick tool, all right. I'm not really sure what it's for, but there it is. And then a torque wrench, all right, right here. Torque wrench. All right. Additionally, to install the to use the nut, all right, you're gonna need a 12 millimeter. I know that because this is the same. It's the same nut from the last kit. All right. So you're gonna need a 12 millimeter socket, and then to use the bit, you need a 6.5 inch millimeter socket. All right. This one's a 1/4 inch drive. It fits on there nicely. All right. Or you're gonna need something that's for bits, or driving bits in. Okay. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. They give you the Loctite. All right, but this is a purple Loctite. Like I said, it's the weakest one that you can get. All right, it has the weakest strength. There's I know there's purple. They have all sorts of colors. There's all sorts of versions. All right, guys, but purple is the weakest. Blue is the medium strength, and red is the high strength. All right, the red is the one that you need heat to take out. Okay, it'll be like permanent, pretty much. Okay, so yeah, so those are the tools that you will need. If I need any, at the end of the video, I will go over all the tools that I actually use. Okay, guys. All right. So let's go compare the version 2 shield with the version 1 shield. Right over there. Okay. So here on the left, I've got the version 1 cat shield. All right, and on the right, I have the version 2 cat shield from MillerCat. All right. So you can see the version 1 is very much larger than the version 2. All right, this is designed to just cover the front of the cat so they can't get to it. All right, it blocks access to it. It's a little harder to install because obviously it's much bigger. Okay, you're gonna need it's recommended to probably have somebody to help you or use a jack to install that. Okay, that's how I had to install it. All right, I've had it for a while now, and yeah, it's pretty nice. The only thing is the fast. Oh yeah, you know what, I didn't go over the benefits of using this this version over the first version 2 over version 1. Okay, I'm gonna read this straight from their website. All right, guys, our all-new stainless steel Rav4 Prime V2 cat shield has been redesigned to encapsulate. All right, that means like it's a cage, right? Encapsulates the converter and is significantly easier to install. So it's easier to install. All right, and it goes around your catalytic converter. And additionally, it does not decrease the ride height. All right, so one of the things I did notice about the version 1 when I took it out is I had scraped up, I scraped on something like a parking block, and it scraped one of the security bolts, and I had a very hard time taking it out. Okay, so that could happen. The fasteners hang kind of low, all right, and they can get banged up on stuff. All right, also I bent the shield like right here. All right, right there, it's all bent and stuff. So, but it's pretty strong, is what I say. All right, okay, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the benefits from this one over that one. Obviously, look at it; it's much smaller and easier to install, and it encapsulates. All right, it goes around the catalytic converter. And in my opinion, it's also made out of stainless steel. All right, stainless steel is much harder to cut than aluminum. Okay, so I'd imagine they probably weigh about the same. All right, so you're not really, the weight penalty is probably the same for both. Okay, because one of them is stainless steel. It's a little heavier, but it's smaller, and the other one is aluminum, and it's got much more area to it. Okay. So this one uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fasteners. All right, they have different size ones, and you got to put these spacers and standoffs on there. This one doesn't have any of that stuff. All right, you just have to move some stuff out of the way, bolt it in, and yeah. So hopefully this one will be a lot easier to install than that one. I had to do a lot of research or homework last night to figure out how to install it, but I think if you watch my video, and that's why I'm making this video, it'll be a lot easier to install because you'll have a good idea what to do. Okay, all right, so let's go start installing. Okay, to start off with the install, I've put my vehicle on ramps. All right, you don't have to. There might be enough room for you to get under there, but it'll make it a lot easier. The area that we'll be working on is the passenger side. All right, so you're going to want to make sure this area is clear to work with. All right, yeah, like the front passenger side where the catalytic converter is where you're going to be spending most of your time doing this install. All right, so yeah, maybe I won't want to put a chalk on the front too. I doubt the vehicle is going to roll, but never know. All right. Okay, I got the chalk. I put the chalk on the back because most likely I believe this thing would roll back through off the ramp, all right? And then, so that's to keep that from rolling back. Okay, before we start, let's go read the front of the manual first. A message from MillerCat. Thank you for purchasing the best Toyota Rav4 converter theft deterrence device on the market. Please read the instructions below to ensure the most accurate and secure fit for your cat shield. If you have any questions or feedback about our product, please email us at support@millercat.com. You can also leave a message on this video and I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. Okay, guys? Or you can send me an email, all right? So here's some installation tips. The use of power tools is not recommended. Use at your own risk. HadesOmega is using a power tool. All right, I will be very careful. All right, we will not do any kind of torquing of the bolts with this. All right, we'll be only using it to take it out and maybe just quickly turn bolts and stuff. All right. Professional installation is recommended. All right, so I highly recommend if you watch my video and you do not feel comfortable doing what I'm doing in the video, don't do it yourself. All right, pay someone to do it. All right, assistance or a jack stand is recommended to hold the shield in place. All right, maybe we'll see. Also, yeah, I do have a jack. All right, I got a jack right there. If we need it, we'll use it. All right, that's the jack that I used to install the V1. All right, match security key bit to appropriate screws. Variations in security hardware do not exist. All right, so that means this will fit on all of these. Okay, this will fit on all of these. Okay. And then these are the torque specifications. I wish they'd put the torque, I wish they put the torque like on the thing. What I might do is I might write the torque here so I don't forget, all right? But they're in inch pounds. Anyway, there's some torque specifications here. M6 screws are 60 to 80 inch pounds. The M8 screws are 80 to 100 inch pounds. And the M10 screws are 100 to 120 inch pounds, okay? That's a lot, M10. M10, that's a big bolt, all right? I don't think it's even in this diagram. I'll show you which one it is, okay? All right, and so what HadesOmega is going to do, they give you a range, 60 to 80. I'm just going to pick the middle, all right? So 70 is in the middle between 60 and 80. That's what we're going to pick for the M6 screws, all right? So anything M6 will be 70 inch pounds, and I think I'll convert that to foot pounds too. Anything M8 will be 90 inch pounds, and anything M10 will be 110 inch pounds, okay? And for bigger torques, I recommend using foot pounds, guys. Okay. All right. So that's the front of the manual. Now that we've gone over that, let's start the installation. Okay. And we'll kind of go along. All right. I've done a torque conversion for you guys that if you guys work in foot pounds rather than inch pounds, for really small torques, inch pounds is better. Okay, guys. 5.8 foot pounds is 70 inch pounds. All right. So 6 foot pounds. And then 90 inch pounds is 7.5 foot pounds. Just round that up to 8 foot pounds, I guess. And then 110 inch pounds is 9.6 foot pounds. All right, just call that 9 foot pounds. Okay. I've also written down here. All right, so these ones. All right, these are 90 inch pounds, and these are 70 inch pounds. Okay, guys. And then there's going to be some other stuff that we're going to have to torque later, but when we get to it. All right, let's start. Okay, step one is to remove the splash guard bolts. All right, so it wants you to remove these 3 splash guard bolts and then this plastic retainer clip. All right, that's the step 2. Okay, so I'll go show you where that is. All right, and it requires a 10mm socket and ratchet to take it out. Okay. Okay, guys, you're gonna go to this part of the car, all right? Right behind the front right wheel, all right? Don't get up under there. Okay, so to give you an idea where everything is, here's your catalytic converter right here, all right? All out in the open. Hey, steal me, you know? And this is the splash shield that they're talking about right here, okay? The 3 bolts they want you to take out. I'm gonna go get under there real quick. Okay, I'm lying down under here. The 3 bolts they want you to take out is this bolt, and this bolt right here. Okay, it's hard to see from like an angle, all right, guys, but like here's kind of a different angle right here. All right, I'm looking out from the left out to the right of the vehicle right now, all right? And you're gonna want this one, and this one, all right? Not too hard to figure it out. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take this one out. Okay, this one out. Okay, and this one. Okay, and that should be pretty floppy. Okay, so the step 2 is to remove the plastic retainer clip. All right, that's this one down here. Okay, I'll show you where it is. Mine's already out because I had to take it out for the last installation. All right, but it says refer to image A and B. Using a flathead screwdriver or trim removal tool, unscrew the retainer clip off the stud by turning it counterclockwise while gently pulling the splash guard down at the same time. All right, I didn't do that last time. I tried to pry it off and I broke it. Okay, but I will give you an example on how to do it. Okay, and this is what it looks like when it comes out. I'll show you. I have it with me. Okay, here it is. This is what it looks like when it comes out. All right, guys. I believe this the black part separates from the white part. All right, but I put it back together. Where it goes is right here. All right, see where this standoff is? This is from the version 1 cat shield. Yeah, it was right here. Okay, so mine already doesn't have it installed. All right, the way you're gonna want to uninstall this is, see, there's a kind of a cutout in there to get a screwdriver in there. Just stick the screwdriver in there. All right, and then turn it counterclockwise and pull. All right, pull on this. All right, and it should come out. All right, the black part should come out. And then what you're gonna want to do is reach behind. All right, and then you should see the white part. Okay, so like right here. So you're gonna wanna peel this back. All right, and see where the standoff is. All right, see where the standoff is with the spacer and everything. Yeah. That's where the white part is. All right, it should be on the shield. So, all right, it goes right here. Okay, so I don't have it, but that's how you would take it off. Stick a screwdriver in there, like I showed you with this guy. All right, and then unscrew it counterclockwise while pulling on the shield at the same time, and it should pop out. Okay, and then take the white part out that's behind it. Okay, so that's step 2. Already done. I probably have to take this off. Okay, so showing you the pick. All right, there's the pick right there. All right, they want you to separate the white part from the black part, but the black part is already messed up on mine, guys, so I don't think I could use that anymore. All right, so now step 4. All right, so that's already step 2 and 3 already. You want to refer to these images. Using a 10mm socket and ratchet with the extension, remove the 2 nuts that secure the heat shield. All right, so and I'll show you where those are. So we're looking at the bottom where the catalytic converter is. Okay, to the left of the catalytic converter is the nut. This is the same nut that you use to secure the version 1 shield. All right, so this has got to come out. All right, and then there's one right over here. Okay, so there's one to the left. Okay, I'm looking forward. All right. So that's the front of the car. All right, look up at the cat. To your left is a nut. All right, that's 10mm. Remove. It's pretty easy to just take that out. And then at the front, all right, in the front of the cat, there's another nut right here. We're gonna remove that. Okay, for the shield. Maybe I don't need one that long. Okay, step 5. Position and loosely secure rear portion of main shield. All right, so it says to apply thread locker on all screws and bolts. What I would say is let's put it on there first, and then we'll take it out and I'll put thread locker on it after that. Okay, so it says maneuver the main shield up to the 2 studs exposed after removing the heat shield nuts, the last ones that we just took out, guys. Starting with the rearmost stud, install the provided M6 fender washer on the stud before installing the shield, followed by the provided M6 security nut. All right, so we're gonna need 2 of these guys already. Okay, and you're gonna need this guy. All right, you're also gonna need a 12mm to secure it. Okay, be sure, yeah, so be sure not to fully tighten in order to allow clearance. So that reiterates that we shouldn't put the thread locker on there yet, all right? Because you want the thread locker to set. You don't want the thread locker to set first, okay? You want it to be, you know, goopy when you torque it, okay? Pro tip: throughout this installation, you should not fully tighten any hardware until the tightening sequence. Okay, so tighten it, but don't tighten it all the way, okay? And then you're gonna need the 2 washers. Okay, so where you're gonna want to put a fender washer here, right here, and you're gonna want to put a fender washer right here. Okay, and then the nuts are gonna install on top of that. All right, guys, and you're gonna use a 12mm to kind of tighten it up. You probably don't have to, like it said, you have to install it loosely. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this on video, but no promises. All right. It just fell off right away, dude. I'm doing this blind, by the way, guys. I've got to figure out where everything is. Okay, there's one. So my suggestion is put the washer on first, hold it up there, and then try to get the shield in there. Yep. Okay. Oh, I can't find another one. Hold on, let me put this in here first. Okay, make sure you have the nuts handy, because I didn't. Okay, yeah, you don't need the tool yet, alright? But okay, and just leave it there loose, alright guys? Get that? Okay, so my suggestion is to put the washer in first, alright? And then hold it up with your finger like I showed you. And then put the shield, try to scooch the shield up in there, all right? And you have to kind of get it underneath the plastic part here, okay? And then put the bolt, the nut in, okay? Same thing for the front one. All right, the front one is a lot easier, so I'll say. All right, cool. All right, there it is. It's kind of holding itself up now. Oh, okay, yeah. So just remember, there's gonna be there's a washer on the back side of this, okay? On the other side, there's a washer, and then there's the nut right here, okay? All right. Okay, now with step 6. Now we're doing step 7. Using a 17mm socket. All right, they didn't say you needed one of those. Using a 17mm socket and ratchet, remove the rearmost bolt that attaches the subframe to the frame of the vehicle. Okay, let me go find it. I don't think it said to remove any kind of plastic, man. Okay guys, for step 7, we're going to be working on this part. Okay, this is where we remove the 3 screws, right? So the 3 screws are right over here. All right guys, 1, 2, 3, okay? And then yeah, the plastic retainer clip. All right, so all of this has to be removed before we can do this, okay? And almost got the dirty back there, man. Gross. Let me get all this dirt out of here first. Okay, so this is gonna kind of be, this is gonna be like behind here, all right, guys? I already pulled it off. But... So this part, anyway, this part, the screw, this part that holds the 2 plastic pieces together. Okay, this part, the screw, all right, the self-tapping screw. Is holding this part together, all right? So this is going to be on top of this. You're going to want to pull that off of there, all right? And then it'll give you access to the bolts that we need, okay? Okay, so this splash guard is in the way. What I did is I put a rag, all right? It's just like an old t-shirt. I stuffed the rag on the back here, okay? Like where the back of the cat shield goes. I stuck it here because we're going to be working in this area and that area, okay? So you're going to need to remove this bolt, all right? This is the subframe bolt. Okay, you're going to have to remove this bolt right here, okay? And then this is where the plastic thing was, all right? That's where this guy was, okay? So you're going to need to take that out also, so you can have access to this, okay? And then you're going to have to take this thing out, all right? See this grommet here? You're going to have to take that out too, okay? Okay, my suggestion is to use a breaker bar or a cheater bar, okay? Use something like this. You should be able to get that bolt out easily, okay? and then I'm probably going to use this to remove it the rest of the way. Right. I don't know if this will remove it. I guess we'll find out. Okay, here's what we're working with from the front here. All right, so you're going to get this, and so just to make sure you've got the right bolts and stuff, this is going to go like this. Okay, it's going to connect to the side of the shield right here. All right, so all the stuff that you want to be removing should line up with the holes that are on this thing. All right, so where my thumb is, there's a big hole, right? So there's this and this. All right, this is already removed. All right, so we're gonna remove this subframe bolt right here. Okay, I'm gonna use the 17 deep socket to remove the subframe. I don't know if this is gonna do it, but nope. Oh yeah, so you can't even get an impact gun in there because the shield's in the way. So my suggestion, breaker bar. That's the #1 tool here. Okay. Okay. Easily. Okay. And now we can probably remove it with this. Okay, there it is. So this didn't have any kind of Loctite on it, so I'm not going to put any Loctite on that. Okay, step 8. So I think that's them removing the bolt. All right, the bolt that we just removed. All right, that's this one that we just removed right here. Now we're going to do step 8. We're going to remove this rubber grommet right here. Okay, using a trim remover tool or a flathead screwdriver, remove the rubber grommet from the frame. Okay, I think I'm going to use, I'm just going to use a screwdriver, guys. Okay, so here's the stud right here, almost right behind it. All right, behind it and to the right a little bit is that grommet. Man, I don't even think you need a tool to take that out, man. Okay, hold on. I could probably pick it out with my fingernail, man. Yeah, you can. I just dug it out with my finger. There it is. Okay, guys. All right, it's really easy to take out. I just dug it out with my fingernail, man. Okay, that's what's got to come out, guys. That's so funny. I was like, you need some kind of tool to take it out. All right, there you go. It's free now. 9. You can install side bracket. Insert the locator tab of the side bracket into the hole where the rubber grommet was removed. Okay. The exposed stud should fit through the small hole of the bracket. Secure it loosely with a 17mm bolt. All right, loosely install the provided M6 security nut with a 12mm socket and wrench. Okay, okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so like I mentioned in the previous video, you have the little forked part. All right, what did they call it? Locator tab. Okay, they put the locator tab in that hole where the grommet was. All right, and then you've got this stud sticking out. Oh yeah, and then you put the subframe bolt back in where that big hole is. All right, and then this is the smaller, this is a security nut. Okay, that goes on that stud right there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this guy back in. All right, so the way it works is, here's the mount. All right, the smaller mount. There's this little forked part here. Okay, it's gonna go inside where that grommet goes. Alright, where that grommet was before. Alright, and it's gonna go up in there. And you just wanna line everything up. Okay. Magic guy. Right? Cool. I think you're gonna want. Alright, what we're gonna do is put this guy back in. Alright, I'm gonna screw this to the front here. Sorry, I'm kind of skipping ahead here, but I already kind of know what to do. All right, so there's that. All right, make sure this thing is inside where that grommet is, okay, the fork part. All right, and then I'm gonna go get the other security nut. Okay, here's the other security nut, and that's just gonna go on there like so. Okay, I'm gonna put it in as far as I can by hand. All right, not tight at all. All right, and I'm going to tighten the subframe bolt. Just a little bit. It's a really long bolt, guys. Okay, and then so these holes should line up, alright? These holes should line up, alright? But it's important not to tighten it a lot because you need to make sure all the bolts line up first, okay? Or you can get the bolts in. Okay, now it says to secure the side bracket and main shield. Using the 2 provided M8 flat security screws and provided M8 security key bit with a bit driver, loosely secure the side bracket and main shield together. Okay, so we're going to install these guys. So make sure you have your little bit handy here, okay? I think what we're going to use is this guy. Okay, I'm going to use this as a driver, okay, guys? Okay, we're going to go ahead and install the 2 bolts, all right, the security bolts. So I've got my tool with the bit on there, all right, with the star bit. Just put it in there. Okay, there's one. Remember, put it loosely. Don't tighten it all the way yet. Okay, I'm gonna snug it so everything like goes in nicely, and then I'm gonna back it off a little bit. Okay, back it off like 1/8 of a turn or something. Okay, so everything is still loose. All right, guys. All right, that's done with that step. Okay, so we just finished step 10. Now we're gonna do step 11. So now it says the tightening sequence begins here. So you have to tighten these in a certain order, right? This order that we're gonna go through right now, all right? So refer to image K. Using the provided M8 security key bit and bit driver, fully tighten the 2 M8 flathead security screws that secure the side bracket and the main bracket together. Okay, so the 2 bolts that we just installed, all right? So I did not put any kind of Loctite on it, so I am going to do it now because we're gonna finally torque it, okay? And the torque for that is 80 to 100 inch-pounds, all right? So I'm gonna do 95 because that's the easiest one to adjust on my torque wrench, okay? And we're gonna need this, guys, all right? This will allow us to use, this is a 6.5 millimeter 1/4 inch socket that'll allow us to torque the screws in there, okay? Okay, it's time to use the thread locking compound, all right? So like I said I was going to use my purple Loctite, but you know what? I will use what they gave us, okay? I lied. All right, so what you're going to need to do is snip the tip of this, and that's actually the cover for it, all right? Just snip this off as close as you can to the tip. Okay, and now it should be exposed. All right, and there's stuff oozing out of it already. All right, so here's what we're going to do, guys. All right, so I didn't put any of this stuff on there already. All right, so what we're gonna do is remove one of the bolts. All right, everything should still line up, right? And then apply the locking compound to it. All right, just try to get it over at least the front part of the threads. All right, squeeze it out. Okay, I think that should be good enough. All right, then now that we got the locking compound on there, put it back in. Okay, I'm not gonna tighten it quite yet because we're gonna put some on this one now. Okay, I'll just leave it there, man. Leave it like that on there, on the screwdriver. Just squeeze some out on there. Okay, it doesn't have to be through the whole thing. Just make sure you get some on the thread so when you tighten it, it gets in the threads, okay? Go ahead, put it back. Okay, and now you can tighten it. Okay, and also it's a self-centering bolt too, by the way, guys, so everything lines up. Okay, I'm gonna tighten it as tight as I can with this tool. Okay, and then now we're gonna go get our torque wrench. All right, our torque wrench is set for 95 inch-pounds, and we're gonna go torque this bad boy. Okay, there's one. There's two. Okay, and then we're gonna double check. Okay, one. Not a lot of torque, guys. Two. Okay. All right. There's that one. Okay. So the next one. All right. We just tightened the ones. We tightened the side bracket screws. All right. The next one, we're gonna tighten the security nuts on the heat shield. All right, using the provided M6 security nut key with the 12mm socket. See, I told you, 12mm right here. You're gonna use this, and you're gonna use this. Okay. And the ratchet with any extension, fully tighten the security nuts that were installed on the heat shield nuts, starting with the rearmost security nut. Okay. Okay. So. There's only like two. Well, it says, according to the picture, it says to do the one on the side and then do the one in the front. Okay, so we'll go do that. And the torque is, I'm going to torque it to about 70 inch-pounds. All right, it's anywhere from 60 to 80 inch-pounds. Okay, and then I'm using a 1/4 inch to 3/8 drive. You probably just use a 12mm, but that's fine. Okay, we're going to use this setup to torque it, all right, and then your bit. Okay, I've got all the tools for success here. I've got the thread locker, the torque wrench, and the bit right there. Okay, it first says to tighten this guy. All right, I'm going to remove it first, real quick, so we have access to the threads. All right, and then the stud, go ahead and put some of that thread locker compound. Oh, it's really hard to get in there, man. My suggestion, squeeze it until like a little bubble comes, a little drip comes out of it. Or just put it on the nut, man. Put it on the nut. All right, just stick it in the hole and then just put a drop in there, all right? All right, there we go. All right, and then put it back in. And you can do it by hand until we get our security bit. Okay, remember there's a washer back there too, so make sure the washer don't fall out. Now we're gonna go torque it, all right, to the 70 foot-pounds. Okay, there we go. It's important not to torque this a lot. That's why you need to use a torque wrench, so you know how tight you're tightening it. All right, and I just stuck there, okay? Okay, there's that. And then we're gonna go remove the front one now. Okay, here's the one on the front, right here. I know it's kinda hard to see, but I'm gonna, oh wow, I can't get it out. There we go. Oh, it's in there. That's why you're not supposed to tighten it a lot, guys. Hopefully it doesn't pop out when I unbolt it, but I'm trying to get a little tool in there. Can't see what I'm doing. I remember it only goes in one way, so. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't fall out now. Okay. Oh, we need an extension for this one. Okay, just go ahead and put a dab of the locking compound in the nut, like I mentioned before. Alright, just make sure it gets on the threads. Okay, that looks good. And put it back. You have to push up on the shield. Okay, I'm going to tighten it as tight as I can by hand. Okay, this one we're going to have to use an extension. Okay, I've got an extension here on the torque wrench. I'm going to put this in here. Let me see, I'm going to put this here first. make sure it's on there properly, and then go ahead and torque it. Still pretty loose. Okay, there you go. That's done. Ouch. The lip. Okay, so there you go. You got the 2 shield bolts installed. Okay, so we just got done with this. Tighten security nuts on shield. Now we're going to tighten the side bracket subframe mounting bolt. All right, the big one, the one that uses a 17mm socket. So it says using a 17mm socket and ratchet, fully tighten the subframe mounting bolt using a torque wrench to tighten the bolt to the manufacturer's specified torque of 63 foot-pounds. All right, so 63 foot-pounds. Okay, so the next step is to tighten that bolt. HadesOmega is going to use the electric ratchet to just initially tighten it. I'm not going to put any thread locker on there because there wasn't any thread locker before. Okay. Okay. That should be pretty close to 63 foot-pounds already. Okay. HadesOmega has a bigger torque wrench here. As you can see, if you look at it the other way, oh here. All right. If you look at it, it says 63 foot-pounds. All right. I've set it for 63 foot-pounds, and that's what we're going to torque it to. Okay, guys. We're kind of run out of room here. I'm gonna have to pull this back all the way. All right, here it goes. Wow. Okay, there we go. It's good. All right, there's that. Okay. We just got finished with step 13. Now we're going to do step 14. All right, tighten the side bracket security nut. All right, so the last one, the stud. Using the M6 security key bit, a 12mm socket and ratchet, fully tighten the M6 security nut to the stud. All right, and don't over tighten it. That's why we use a torque wrench, guys. Okay, I apologize for the glare. It's still pretty bright out, and we're underneath the car, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the nut out real quick. All right, go ahead and take the nut out, and just like you did the other two, put some locking compound inside the nut. All right, on the threads. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it only works in the down, and only gravity helps it, guys. All right, and then put it back. Okay, I'm threading it back on my hand as much as I can. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get our torque wrench and our bit, our security bit. Okay. Oh, good thing it fits through the stud, because the stud is still sticking out a whole lot. Okay. Alright, and then we just go tighten it. There we go. Alright. Okay. Keep on going. Oh, it's not stopping. Okay, there we go. Alright, it sticks out quite a bit, guys. I would say that's like 10 millimeters or something. It sticks out. Okay, alright. Okay, so the last thing we did is we installed the security nut. Alright, the last security nut that's on the side plate. Step 15 is reinstall factory splash guard mounting hardware. Using the 10mm socket and ratchet, reinstall the 3 factory splash guard bolts that were removed back in step 1. Alright, boom, boom, boom. Alright, guys. Okay, so now that we're done installing all the fasteners, I can remove my rag now. Alright, and the splash guard will go back up. Okay, and then so what we're gonna have to do before we can install the fasteners is we need to put the splash guard back to where it belongs. Okay. So yeah, everything should cover up nicely. All right. So this part needs to go on top of this part here. Okay. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna pull this down and then bend this on top of that. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna put the screw back in. Yeah, you might have to maneuver it. Oh, hold on. Okay, I see what's wrong here. Yeah, so this is in the right place. I have to get this on top of this part right here. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this down and there we go. Okay, now it goes into place. That's what was wrong. All right, and just pull it so the holes line up. Doesn't want to go in nicely, guys. There we go. Okay, if you have to force it, you're doing something wrong, all right? It's like cross-threading or something. All right, this one I would be really careful, okay? But these ones you can probably go to town on, all right? So there's another one right here. Okay, these do not have any kind of locking compound on it, so I'm not gonna put any. Okay, did you get that? So this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. Okay. Tighten this one on the side here. Okay, now I'm gonna go get my ratchet and tighten those two. All right, not super dupery tight. All right, remember they're really small bolts. Okay. Okay, and then this one a little bit. That one I would not use any power tools on, okay guys? Use a ratchet for that one. Okay, just snug it. Double check these ones. That's pretty tight. And that's pretty tight. Okay, there we go. All good to go. Okay. We just finished step 15. All right, we just put the 3 bolts back in. Step 16 is reposition the splash guard back into place and install the provided rivet nut plate onto the stud by turning it clockwise until fully threaded. Okay, I don't think there's any kind of tool for that. You know what? I'm gonna put some Loctite on this. It's made out of aluminum. It's kind of cool. Where does this go? Okay, so they want you to install this rivet nut plate. All right, so what we're gonna do is, I guess let's just put some. I'm not sure if we have to put it, but we'll just put it anyways. It can't hurt. We'll put this thread locking compound on it. All right, we'll put a generous amount. Okay, and just screw it in there. Oh, it's too much. Okay, so you're gonna put the rivet nut plate, I think right here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you remember where you put that security nut, right? You can see it in there. Yeah, there's the security nut right there. All right, it's to the right of where the the plate bolts in. You're gonna put this, okay, somehow like that, okay. And you're gonna screw it on. Until it's tight. Until it says it, until it's fully threaded, okay, guys. That was the words they use. Fully threaded. Okay. Oh yeah, it's fully threaded now. Okay, and you can see the locking compound oozing out of it. Okay, there you go, and it stops like that. Pretty nifty, like they designed it just to stop just like that. All right, and I'm just gonna give it. I'm gonna tighten it as tight as I can with my left hand. Okay, and then that should be good. Okay, I think hopefully that won't come out, but that should help make the splash guard stiffer. Okay, and there it is. It's all in there. All right. Let me go put my tools away, and then we'll go take a look at my handiwork. All right? Okay, and with that, we're done. End of instructions. Congratulations, you are now Cat Shield protected. Don't forget, we've included Cat Shield sticker with your order. Optional. Place it on your vehicle to warn thieves that you are Cat Shield protected. Okay, we'd recommend placing the sticker anywhere on the rear of the vehicle. All right, I already have one, guys.
But yeah, I got more now. So, but yeah, I have one like up here somewhere. You see it? There we go. There we go. I put one over there. All right, guys. That's from the other cat shield. And then I put one here, all right, where the other catalytic converter is, okay? They've been on there and they, you know, they still look good, okay? Yeah, it's kind of, this one's kind of weird, it's at an angle, but it's okay. That way, you know, this is where they're gonna try to steal the catalytic converter. When they get under there, they'll see this and, oh, never mind, don't even bother. Okay, that's the idea, right? All right. Okay, so after using this, I've got about half the tube left, so you could use it for whatever, you know. It's purple Loctite, it's really handy to have. What it does, its purpose is to prevent fasteners from coming loose, all right, and losing them in the future. Okay, and you just screw the cap back on, all right. This cap was backwards, remember, so. Okay, and then save that for a future project, okay? Or if you ever need to take it out, the shield out, and then put it back in, then you still got half a tube left, okay? Okay, and then so when you're done, that's what it's gonna look like, okay? I have a picture. I'll have a picture of the version 1 versus the version 2, all right? Right now. Okay, so that's the difference. So the version 1, it covered this whole front part of the catalytic converter. That's it. All right. Where the version 2, it covers the actual catalytic converter. So it makes a little cage around the catalytic converter. All right. So let's take a look at it and how it protects your catalytic converter from getting stolen. All right. So it's actually bolted to the body. This is not going anywhere, guys. It's not going anywhere. And it's made out of stainless steel, right? It's very, very hard to cut, all right? I'm not gonna lie, stainless steel is very hard to cut. It's very durable and it's very weather resistant, okay? So, it's very strong, okay? So, it basically adds a little cage around your catalytic converter. What I did like about the version 1 is, yes, it prevented it from getting cut, all right? They could still cut this, all right? They can cut here, and they could cut in the back, all right? But they're not going to they're not going to be able to take this out. There's not enough room to take it out, all right? Even if you cut it on both sides, this cage will prevent them from taking the cat out. The cat's not coming out, all right, guys? Yeah, there's just not enough room to get it out, all right? Unless they break this or something. But like I said, it's not 100% theft proof. If they really wanted to steal it, then yeah, they could somehow destroy it or whatever, okay? One nice thing about this, the version 2, is it gives you access to your oxygen sensor, okay? So your oxygen sensor is now, if you needed to replace it or do some kind of service with it, you have access to it now, all right? You don't have to remove the shield to get access to the oxygen sensor. That was one of the things about the version 1. You didn't have access to this, all right? This whole part was blocked off, okay? All right, so yeah, and it does say there's more ground clearance. There's less stuff sticking out from the bottom of your vehicle, okay? That's what they're talking about. All right, the version 1 had a bunch of bolts and stuff that they hung lower than the shield, all right, and they could get damaged, and I actually did damage one, so, okay? This is more kind of streamlined, all right? Yeah, okay. Let's take a closer look. All right, there's the security bolts right there. There's a lot of bolts. Okay, their security bolts are not easy to take out. All right, there's that rivet nut insert. All right, these are all, it all uses security bits so you can't remove it. Also, it is bolted underneath it here, so you would have to take all those other bolts off to get to this plate right here, okay? So even if you could take out these other ones, it would be very difficult to take this one out, all right? Yeah, okay. How much room does it have? Will it rattle? Okay. Will it rattle? Well, this is how much clearance, all right? I can get my finger in there, all right? There's nowhere that the shield touches. All right, it comes pretty close right here, though. All right, there's a lot of space right here, actually. I can stick my thumb in that one. All right, so there's plenty of clearance around the catalytic converter. I don't think it's going to rattle at all. All right, the catalytic converter doesn't move a whole lot, man. Okay. No. No. If it, you'd have to hit a pretty big bump for it to maybe touch, all right? But I don't think, it won't touch, guys. All right, so if you guys are worried about it rattling or making sounds, it's not. I don't think it's gonna make sounds, but I'll make a future video if it does, okay? There it is, MillerCat. There it is, you're protected. There's the MillerCat logo right here, all right? Yeah, there's the side plate right here. Very nice, it's actually, I'm really impressed with the design and everything, okay? But it does allow them to cut the pipes though. They can still cut the pipe, but they won't get the cat out, all right? Let's go take a look at it from the side. Okay, here's a picture from the back, all right, video from the back. Plenty of space around here, all right? You can see all this stuff here. Precision fit, guys. Very, very impressive. Very impressive. I like it. I like it a lot. And there's no way you're gonna get the cat out of there. Okay, there it is. I will take a bunch of pictures of it, and yeah, you saw the difference between the version 1 and version 2 already. Okay, so there you go, installed. Okay, and with that, we're done with the install. Let's go take a look at the tools that I used, all right, to do this, all right, and then like I said, at the end of the video, I would go over what tools I actually used. Okay, so check them out. Okay, so these are all the tools I use. Like I mentioned, if you don't have these tools, or you watch the video and you feel that you don't have the skills and the know-how or the tools to do this, I would pay someone to do it, okay guys? Is there a chance of you getting hurt? There's not much chances of you getting hurt, okay? But there is a chance that, yeah, you may mess something up, okay? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the parts that we have left, all right? And that stuff that you should you know, carry with you. So these are the parts that you should have left over, okay guys? You should have the plastic retainer clip, all right? You're not going to reuse that. You should have the 2 nuts that that go on the heat shield, all right? You're not going to put those back because you put the security nuts on there. You should have the security bit key, all right? The nut key, and then you should have the star nut bit, okay? Those are for the M8 flathead nuts, okay? And then you should have that grommet cover, all right? The one that they said you needed a tool to take out, but I just picked it out with my fingernail, okay? And yeah, so that should be all that's left over, all right, guys, from your install. Okay, also, don't forget, these are very important, okay, guys? Do not lose these, all right? What I do is I keep it inside my car somewhere, okay? Keep it somewhere hidden inside your car. All right, you may need these if you need to take that cat shield out for whatever reason. You're gonna need these, all right? It even says so right here. Okay, please return all security keys to customer, all right? All right, so I'm just gonna put this in here, and then it's gonna go inside the vehicle, okay, or somewhere safe. All right, okay, so here's are all tools that I use, all right? So obviously the safety equipment, gloves, they came in handy, all right, and the safety glasses because you're working underneath. The bottom of my RAV4 had a lot of dirt and stuff in it, and if you disturb that dirt and it falls down, it can fall into your eyeballs, all right? So please wear safety glasses when you're under there, okay? You use the screwdriver, all right, to remove this guy here, all right? This came in handy, all right, to help tighten this guy, okay? I used the extension to remove one of these guys, all right, and torque it. All right, you're gonna want a breaker bar to remove the subframe bolt, okay? And to help remove the subframe bolt, I used a rag, all right? Get a rag, something, crumple up a piece of newspaper and a ball or something, stick it on there so it props the plastic shield, all right, open so you can work under there, okay guys? And then you're gonna need a large torque wrench, all right, with the 17mm. That's what we use to torque the subframe bolt. All right, they never mentioned that, so. And then you're gonna need a smaller torque wrench to torque the nuts, all right, on all that stuff. All right, you're gonna need the 12mm to torque one of the. You're gonna need the 12mm to torque the nut, and then you're gonna need a 6.5mm to torque the bit, all right, the star bit. Okay, and then you're going to need a bunch. You're going to need a 10mm socket to remove the bolts, all right, and these nuts here. Okay, and then you're going to need this to tighten. You're going to need a ratchet to tighten it. My suggestion is to use a ratchet to tighten it. Okay, guys. You could use something. I use this, right? I'm not gonna lie. About 90% of the time, I use this guy. This is a great tool to have. I'll put a link in the description where you can get one of these. All right, but you don't need it. Okay, you could just use a regular ratchet. All right, but this made it a lot easier. Okay, but try not to torque anything with this. All right, because you may break bolts and stuff. Okay. Yeah, and then you're going to need a bunch of 17mm sockets. I think I used this. All right, I used this to break it with this because this wouldn't do it, and then I used this to unscrew it the rest of the way. Okay, and to tighten it. All right, and then we use this to torque the subframe bolt. All right, so that is the heaviest, that's the biggest bolt that you're going to have to tighten. All right, and it's tightened to 63 foot-pounds. It took quite a bit of force to get it torqued. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and then you're gonna need, I needed pliers to cut this open. All right, the thread locker, and if for some reason you don't have it, you could use a purple Loctite like I have here. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So those are all the tools that I use. All right, so hopefully you have tools very similar to this if you're going to be doing it. Okay, so but for the most part, it's not difficult at all, guys. It's easy. Could one person do it? Yes, one person could totally do it. It's a lot easier than that. All right, this is a little more cumbersome to install. All right, this is the version 1.
Okay, and with that, we're done with the install of the version 2 MillerCat cat shield for the Rav4 Prime. All right, it should work for any Rav4 Prime that's out right now. Okay, 2021 to 2023. All right, and you can get them for $250 from MillerCat. I will put a link in the description of the video, and I will also put a coupon code so you can get a discount on the shield. All right, so it helps me and it helps them out. All right, and it helps the Rav4 community out, protect these valuable emission devices. Okay. Thanks for all of you that did purchase the version 1. All right, we sold a lot of them. Okay, and that makes me happy that there's a lot of Rav4s driving around out there. It doesn't, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't make me happy that we have to install these theft deterrence devices on our cars. All right, if we had honest people, but unfortunately we don't. All right, that's the world we live in, and the important thing is to protect your cat, so they move on, they'll move on to an easier target. Okay, so yeah, all the information to get one is in the description of the video, and and I want to go over how long it took me to do this. I started about 5 o'clock and I finished around 7 o'clock, so it took me 2 hours with the video, making a video. Okay, so making the video always makes it take a lot longer. Okay, my thought is, if you knew what you were doing, all right, I'm not gonna lie, I did some homework the night before too. All right, so I already kind of knew what to do. Okay, if you knew what you were doing and you had all the tools readily available, you could probably knock this out in about an hour. Okay, maybe hour and a half. Okay, shooting the video makes it take twice as long. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All right, but it wasn't difficult at all. If you know how to turn a wrench and operate a torque wrench, and I think you could do this. Okay, but if you don't, and if you have no idea what you're doing, if you watch this video and you have no idea what you're doing, pay someone to do it. Okay, get it done properly. But for my skill level, this was pretty easy. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All right, but it's a lot of working underneath the vehicle. Okay, and we didn't even have to use a jack or jack stands or anything. All I did was I drove my Rav4 up on some ramps, so I got extra room to move under there. I don't even think you need to do that either. Okay, there's probably enough room under there to work under there without having to drive up a ramp. But it made it easier for me, so I did. I have them, so why not use them? Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope this was educational and entertaining. Thanks for watching. That is the MillerCat version 2 cat shield for the Toyota Rav4 Prime. They do sell one for the hybrid version. It's a little bit different. It's a little more expensive. Yeah, so sorry I don't have a video on how to install that because I don't have a Rav4 hybrid. All right, but yeah, so but they do sell them there, and you could use my, if you wanted to order anything on the MillerCat website, you can use my coupon code HadesOmega to get a discount. All right, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out.